How is risk mitigated during a PI planning agenda? What occurs during this to allow for effective use of time? In this video, we will cover the PI planning agenda so you will be informed and aware of what goes on within. First, the day one agenda business context. A business owner or a senior executive describes the current state of the business, shares the portfolio vision, and presents a perspective on how effectively existing solutions are addressing the current customer needs. The product solution vision. The product management presents the current vision, typically represented by the top 10 upcoming features, and highlights any changes from the previous PI planning event, as well as any forthcoming milestones. Next, the architecture vision and development practices. The system architect and engineering presents the architecture vision. Also, a senior development manager may introduce agile supportive changes to development practices such as automation, DevOps, continuous integration, and continuous deployment, which are being advanced in the upcoming PI. Next, the planning context and lunch. The RTE presents the planning process and expected outcomes of this PI meeting. Then we start off with a team breakouts number 1. This is a very important meeting. In this breakouts, teams estimate their capacity for each iteration and identify backlog items they will likely need to realize the features. Each team creates their draft plans visible to all iteration by iteration. During this process, teams identify risks and dependencies and draft their initial team PI objectives. The PI objectives typically include uncommitted objectives, which are goals built into the plan. For example, stories that haven't been identified and included for these objectives, but are not committed by the team because of too many unknowns or risks. Uncommitted objectives are not extra things to do in case there is time. Instead, they increase the reliability of the plan and give management an early warning of goals that the art may not be able to deliver. The teams also add the features and the associated dependencies to the program board. Day 2 agenda, the planning adjustments. The next day, the event begins with management presenting any changes to planning scope, people, and resources. And we will start off with a team breakouts too. Team continues planning based on their agenda from the previous day, making the appropriate statements. They finalize their objectives for the PI, to which the business owners assign business value. Final plan review and lunch. During these sessions, all teams present their plans to a group, and at the end of each team's time slots, the team states their risks and impediments and provides the risk to the RTE for use later on in the ROAM exercise. The team then asks the business owners if the plan is acceptable, and if the plan is acceptable, the team brings their PI objectives sheet in front of the room so everyone can see the aggregate objectives unfold in real time. If the business owners have concerns, teams are given the opportunity to adjust the plans as needed to address the issues identified. The team then presents their revised plan. Program risks. During planning, teams have identified program risks and impediments that could impact their ability to meet their objectives. These are resolved in the broader management context in front of the whole train. One by one, the risks are discussed and addressed with honesty and transparency. Resolved. When the risk is resolved, the team agree that the risk is no longer a concern. Owned. Someone on the train takes ownership of the risk since it cannot be resolved during the PI planning. accepted. Some risks are just the facts or potential problems that must be understood and accepted. Mitigated. Teams identify a plan to reduce the impact of the risk. Finally, the confidence vote. One program risk have been addressed, team votes on their confidence in meeting their team PI objectives.